Anyway, so I was watching Dr. Blitz this morning take apart flat earthers. How come you guys never go and try to debate uh, Dr. Blitz or any of these other people on TikTok and YouTube?
I've never heard of Dr. Blitz.
Dr. Blitz is a PhD physicist who debates several topics, and one of them is flat earthers. And
Is he the real lean one? Is he
The thing is, with
I don't know.
PhD physicists, the thing is they're fucking lost in the sauce. They don't know if trees or cars are moving. So there's nothing you can really do with that.
Yeah, you're not understanding relative motion is part of your problem, Jeremy.
I understand it, and
No,
it
you
leads
don't.
to you
No, you
not
don't.
knowing. It leads to you not knowing if a car moved into a tree or a tree moved into a car. It's ridiculous.
If I'm on a train, if I'm on an airplane going 600 miles an hour, I put my glass right on my tray. Is the glass moving?
Yeah, that's
See?
not the scenario. The scenario, no, not see.
That is the
That's
scenario. That is the
no,
scenario.
the scenario I broached, I gave the PhD physicist was there's a car in a tree. It's your favorite car. You've been driving it all around town doing errands. And then there's a tree that's been outside your house for 50 years. There's nothing funny going on. No hurricanes, landslides, none of that. And the car and the tree have a collision. Which one moved into the other one? The PhD physicists that are so lost in the sauce will tell you you can't ever know which one actually moved. So they don't know if the tree moved into the car or the car moved into the tree. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And he's making the same
Before
point that I
or
just
after
made.
you levitated it over a train on a
He was
wire.
making a point.
Yeah, right.
He was,
Whole night, like that's the fuck, dude.
Jeremy, he was making a point.
Pancake.
He was making a point about relative motion. The same one that I just made about your glass of beer on the airplane. Which one is moving? Well, it's relative to something.
Yeah, but with a car in the tree, we know how cars work, and we know that the car actually moved into the tree, and it wasn't vice versa because we're not in Lord of the Rings. So we can be 100% certain that it was actually, in fact, the car moving into the tree and not the tree moving into the car. Like you
Relative
get in
to
your
the
car,
earth.
step on the gas. You get in the car, start the car, step on the gas, drive into a tree. There's no like guessing game on. There's no guessing game on.
Chain of causality.
Relative.
There's no guessing game on which one moved into the other one. We know how both of those things work.
Now, the car moves relative to the earth, right?
Are you saying there's a chance that it could have been the tree moving into the car?
No, it just
And
moves
so
relative.
the car was still. The car was still, and the tree moved into the car.
Yeah, you could reference frame it that way. Yes, you could. That's the point.
We're talking about
Jeremy.
what happens in reality. The point is, we're talking about what happens in reality.
This is reality.
Not what looks like. No, that's looks like.
No, it's not. It's reality.
It's reality of what looks like reality, but it's not actual reality. What's actually happening? It just looks like.
Yeah, you're just wrong. It's relative. Motion is relative. It's not absolute. You're trying to say there's some absolute reference frame, and there isn't.
No, I'm just saying we can absolutely know in that scenario which one moved into the other one because
Yeah,
we know how
that's the
trees and
problem.
cars work. We don't have to guess. Hold on, Brenda. We don't have to guess how trees and cars work. We know, and we know that the car wasn't stationary and the tree moved into the car. We know it was vice versa because we know how cars and trees work.
Well, relative to the car, the tree moved into the car. That's what Dr. Blitz told you, right?
Even my wife said the fact that I'm even having this conversation now is ridiculous.
This is something that Galileo figured out 500 years ago. Motion is relative. Right? So relative to the...
Been at a stoplight where your car... I don't know if he's ever driven a standard car, but have you ever been at a stoplight where your car rolls slightly backwards, but you think the car next to you is actually moving forward?
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, I'm trying to see if Jeremy can grasp this.
No, he can't grasp it because he's being stubborn. He's being stubborn is what he's being.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just have to give like 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 examples before they finally get it.
It's been over 10 years.
Yeah, you know, it's a rough battle.
Right. So
Good things, there's
relative,
some funny moments to catch along the way.
yeah, relative to the car, the tree moved into the car. Relative to the tree, the car moved into the tree. And that's reality. That's not pretend. It's how the real world actually works. But the question I came in here was the reason I even came here because I was watching Dr. Blitz and it occurred to me, how come I never see any of these Discord flat earthers try to debate their beliefs on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever? You just hide away here in your little hidey hole and pretend the world
To
isn't
be
changing.
to be fair, Brenda, some of them have talked to Blitz. Like I know, I think it was like Steve and another guy tried to talk to them for like an hour about
Oh, that'd be great.
the muon detector that's like goes through the earth and you know it's angled down into the earth and then comes out angled up.
Yeah, that's a good proof of globe Earth.
But
But
like yeah, like I can see if I can try to send you the link. I know Planet Peterson also did a video about that thing also, but like there's the original like he posted the original video link.
I think the point is that flat earthers are getting humiliated every day by Planet Peterson, Dr. Blitz, and others. They're getting absolutely just humiliated every day, right? And that's not good. That's only going to look bad on you.
That's your opinion.
I'm sure they're getting frustrated, but
Wait,
humiliation is an internal.
You're just shown to
You
Stand.
be
guys don't know if trees or car. You're telling me the guy who doesn't know if trees or cars move is going to humiliate me on anything? That's in a ridiculous,
I
absurd,
just did.
fantastical statement you just made.
I just did, Jeremy. I just humiliated you right now, 5 minutes ago. I humiliated you.
Anyone that's
wait,
listening is
Jeremy,
laughing
I'm
at anyone
confused.
listening is laughing at you. We know the
Jeremy,
whole
They're
world knows
not.
how trees and cars. Hold
hang
on,
on.
man. Hang on. The whole world knows how trees and cars work. So
Yes,
you
and the
sitting
whole
here and
world.
telling people, hold on, man. Bro, I'm gonna have to mute
I,
you. I know who you are, dude. I'm just gonna have to mute you real quick so I can finish this. Or will you let me do it?
I'll let you do it.
Not you, the other guy.
I didn't interrupt you the second time. That was Brenda.
Yes, that was me.
Okay, can you guys just chill out and let me just finish this?
Yep. Go ahead.
The whole world knows how trees and cars works. So anyone listening to this is not laughing at me, I promise you. They're laughing at you guys for not knowing how trees and cars work.
That's not the point, Jeremy.
You said I was humiliated. I don't know by who,
Yes.
not the whole rest of the world, definitely. The whole rest of the world would be on my side because we know how trees and cars work.
No, they're not on your side, Jeremy. They're laughing at you. Every day, Dr. Blitz, Planet Peterson, every day are humiliating flat earthers. And I just humiliated you here because you don't seem to be able to comprehend how a frame of reference works, where from the point of view of the car, the tree hit the car. From the point of view of the tree, the car hit the tree. And everybody else gets it, not
Yeah, it
you.
looks like the one hit the other one, and from the other frame, it looks like the one hit. But in actuality, only one of those things was happening, and we know which one it was because we know how trees and cars work. Like this isn't a brain buster.
There is no in actuality. Motion is
There's
relative,
no in
Jeremy.
actuality. Okay.
That's right. That's
There's no
right.
reality. No reality.
Yes.
Got it.
No, it's not no reality. There's no such thing as absolute motion. Motion is relative to a frame of reference.
Yeah, not when it comes to the tree and car thing, though. It doesn't matter if you're on an
I just
aircraft
showed you.
carrier. Hold on, Brenda. It doesn't matter if you're on an aircraft carrier, a merry-go-round. As long as the tree's planted in whatever ground it's on, and the car is on the same ground, we're gonna know which one moved, especially if we're controlling the car and the
Yeah,
tree's
A
planted,
reference
and
to
there's
frame
no.
used to determine causality.
No, I don't think so. Causality takes place within a reference frame.
I mean, Bull Knight, can you talk some sense into these guys or what?
There's no flat
I
earther
mean,
that
this sounds like
can.
two different points, not two different points, two different priorities. Being that Jeremy wants to focus or prefers to focus on the causality and the result versus the forces involved, which
The
a physicist
causality,
would be more concerned about.
as I said, the causality takes place within a frame of reference. There's no absolute frame of reference for motion. All motion is relative to something else. If you don't have something else to compare yourself to, you don't know if you're moving or not.
Well, Bull
Yeah,
Knight,
and Jeremy's
Bull
we.
Knight, is there any force that would make a tree move forward?
Yeah, the
Without
Bull
tires
flavor
on
Knight,
the
that
text,
was for
car.
Bull
yes.
Knight. Bull Knight, is there any force
Without
that would make a tree move forward?
without more flavor text, the answer has to be yes because wind exists. So
Okay, but
all of the things
this is an
when you
oak
say
tree.
we,
This isn't. First of all, if it was wind, it just knocks the tree down. So if the tree's still standing at the end, do we know it was wind?
We know that the
Jeremy, I
tree
have
is
a
a,
Plus,
question for you.
you need an exuberant amount of wind to even do that. It's an oak
that's
tree
not what we're
outside your
talking
house.
about.
It's your
We
right?
don't
favorite
We're
oak
adding
think
tree
Brenda,
flavor
that's been there
text
since
now.
you
Brenda,
were a kid.
can I try?
We're adding
Can I try?
backstory.
Well, I mean, I've
So,
added
Jeremy,
this stipulation the whole time that there's no landslides, there's no hurricanes going on. It's just a normal day, normal tree, nothing crazy, bro. There's no
I can
mechanism that makes a
stipulate.
there's no mechanism that makes a
Jeremy,
tree move forward. There is a mechanism that makes a car move forward, though, in this scenario.
can I try? Just one little thing.
Try to
Don't
talk
flat
me into
earthers?
try to talk
Yeah.
me into thinking that the tree could have moved and we're in Lord of the Rings. Go
Do
ahead.
do flat earthers make fun of like globers for thinking that Earth is flying through space at an incredible speed?
Don't know,
Yeah,
don't care.
all the time, all the time.
Wait. You don't know if flat earthers make fun of globers for thinking that we are flying through space at incredible speeds. You've never heard that
I literally don't
once.
care. It doesn't matter. I
He's
don't
just
care. It's
he's
irrelevant.
just being
I feel like
stubborn.
you don't care right now at this particular moment because you realize once you say yes, then you acknowledge that yes, according to globers, the trees are moving.
No, I can stipulate that the tree doesn't move with respect to the earth, right? We can just stipulate that. It's still which one moves depends on your frame of reference. If the reference frame is the earth and the tree, then the car moved into the tree. If it's the car, then the tree and the earth moved into the car.
Then yeah.
Jeremy's we is always somebody else looking at this happen from a third point of view of
No, bro,
neither strictly the car or the tree.
you could be in the
Yeah, and
tree or in the car. It doesn't matter where you are.
it does matter. That's the point. It does matter.
Jeremy,
Question
can
being
you
asked and what we want to know is what
If you're in the
matters
tree,
most for this
imagine
conversation.
like
if you're in the
I
tree, did you forget how trees and cars work?
The tree is stationary with respect to the earth.
know this is hard to imagine things, but like
How do trees work, Jeremy?
Trees work like if they have no interior mechanism to make them move. Cars, on the other hand, do.
I already accepted that with respect to the earth, the tree never moves. It's not blown over. It's not moved. There's no earthquakes. There's no winds. It doesn't move. That's not the point. The point is that motion is relative to a frame of reference, right? From the point of view of the car, right? The tree moves into the car. And the same equations that describe the motion of objects works equally well regardless of the frame of reference. That's Einstein's equivalence principle.
Yeah, kinematically, it looks like either one could have happened, but I'm not worried about what looks like. I'm worried about what actually happened in reality. So now we're on to a
Kinema-
Different
different.
priorities.
Now we're on to a
kin-
different thing.
yeah, but kinematically, that's all there is.
No, that's
Yes.
what's the
Yes.
other thing? If it's not, there's dynamics. That's not
Right.
all there is kinematics. There's
It's a
dynamics.
different type of equation. Yes.
Yeah, so not all there is. There's not only kinematics. There's dynamics.
Right. And
Right.
those
So when
are
you said there was
also,
only kinematics, that was wrong.
yeah, there's no absolute, you're trying to imply there's an absolute frame, and there isn't.
When you said there was only kinematics, you were wrong because there's dynamics, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
That's embarrassing. You just got that wrong. Are you embarrassed? Is
No,
everyone
no,
laughing?
I'm not.
Are you humiliated?
No, because I explained the difference.
You're not humiliated that you're getting
No,
everything wrong.
no, no, I didn't get anything wrong.
You just got the kinematic thing wrong. You said all there is kinematics, and that was wrong. There's
Yeah.
also dynamics. Now you're just not being honest.
No, you were claiming there's something over and above the kinematics frame of reference type of thing, and there isn't. There isn't anything over and above that. There's just relative motion. That's it.
Yeah, all right.
Hey,
It sounds
Brenda,
great.
can I ask you a question? Brenda, I guess.
What? What? Yeah, what? I was
Do
waiting.
you get a hard on from debating flat earthers?
No, I don't.
It seems to me
Do
like you
you?
do because
Do
you've
you?
been
Do
doing this
you?
for a while. I don't debate flat earthers. I'm a flat earther myself.
Do you
Why would I
get it?
debate
Do you
flat
get
earthers?
it? Do you get it from debating Glovers?
I don't debate glowers. I don't like debating.
You're
It's
debating
stupid.
me.
The earth is
What's?
flat, period. There's nothing to debate.
Of course
Yeah, the
there is.
debate is over.
Of course there's a debate.
Maybe it just gets a hard on for being right.
Of course you can debate anything. What do you mean you can't debate it? That's just you being stubborn.
So we could
No,
debate
you've been doing it for a
1 plus
while,
1 equals 3.
Brenda. You've been doing this
You
for a while.
can. Yes, you
You're
can debate.
obviously you're obviously getting hard on from it or getting
No,
paid.
I hardly ever come around here anymore. Like once a week, right? Because
Okay,
the
okay,
final
so
the final experiment destroyed flat Earth. Now all you have are people like Dr. Blitz and Planet Peterson mopping up the little ones. The little ones who can't figure out whether or not anything is moving or not.
Either
You
that
guys
or
are
they're
the
just
ones who
desperate
can't
for
figure
money.
out what's moving. You guys are the ones who can't figure out what's moving. I know the tree.
I
I know
already
the
told
cars
you.
moving. I know the
No,
cars
you
moving
don't.
because I know how cars work.
No, you don't. You don't know if the car is moving or not.
In
You
the
don't
scenario
know.
I laid out, I 100% know the car's moving.
No,
Yes.
no, you don't know it. And somebody else gave an example of when you wouldn't know. You're sitting at a stoplight and you didn't put the brake on, right? You left it out of gear, and there's a slight incline. You're rolling backwards just a little bit. It's a couple inches. Are you moving or are the people around you moving forward? You don't know, so you
But that's
can't
not the
know.
scenario. That's not the scenario I laid
So
out. I know
can you
there are
know?
scenarios. There are scenarios where you wouldn't know. I agree. However, in this tree and car scenario, we absolutely 100% know. I like how you tried to change it off of that, the one we can know, to something we might not know
It's
or
the
might not
point.
be able to know. However, in the tree and car example, we do know.
Uh, that the whole point is that you can't know, and that's the point, and it's true. You just being stubborn and being bullheaded about it doesn't mean anything, right?
It's
And
not a
what I'm
rebuttal.
saying,
It's not a rebuttal.
yeah, the rebuttal is that without sufficient information, otherwise, you can't know if you are moving or the other object is moving. If all you have is information
Another
from
up.
with,
It's a
if
tree.
if all you have is information from within the car, you can't know whether you are moving or the other object is moving.
It's not another object. It's a tree. We know what the object is.
Yeah, that's external information. Just from the information inside the car, You can't know if you are moving or the other object isn't moving.
Yeah,
You
you got to
can't
put
know it.
yourself in. Yeah, we know you got to put yourself in dummy mode where you don't know anything, and now you can't know. That's brilliant. That is
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
That's called physics. I learned this shit in like 8th grade, dude. 8th grade.
Ignoring the physics of reality and forgetting about it and pretending like you don't know it is physics.
Physics is reality. What you're doing is just being stubborn.
I'm in the car
Well,
knowing about physics and how the physics of trees and the physics of cars and all the physics of the world. And you're in the car like, let me forget everything about physics. All I know is I'm in a car.
That's right.
That's fucking stupid.
what type of
Not-
physics would
That's
that be
called
classified
physics.
under?
It's literally called stupidity. You're or ignorance or something. You're purposely being ignorant of the physics of the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's what a reference frame is. It's considering the facts from a certain point of view. That's what a reference frame is.
Yeah, but Brenda, in a reality, that car has a place in the world on the road, and that tree has a place in our world besides the road. So you got two different reference frames, and one ain't movable and the other is.
So I'm assuming you guys think that the Earth is the absolute reference frame.
That's not relevant for this tree in the car thing. If you want to go to a new topic, we can go to that. But
No, this is actually exactly the topic. We're talking about the reference frame as to which, like, we think what movement is. So there has to, if you're saying like that a car accelerating is now it's moving, like, how do you know when it reaches a speed it's actually not at rest with the absolute reference frame? You need, so
it
if you
wouldn't
think because
matter.
if you think because a car is moving on Earth that it's now no longer like motionless with the absolute reference frame, then you would have to back that up.
That's not the scenario. The scenario is it hits a tree. And it wouldn't matter where this car in the tree was. It could be on an aircraft carrier, on a merry-go-round, any moving thing. It could be on the top of a train.
Right.
Anything
I
that's
under-
it doesn't matter if it's in the absolute reference frame or not. We're still gonna know that the car
well,
moved into the tree.
how do you know that when when the car is at 50 miles per hour heading towards a tree, that is actually in the it's actually resting with the absolute reference frame of the universe and the tree isn't coming at it.
I already told you it doesn't matter if it's in the absolute reference frame or not. It could be on a train, on an aircraft carrier. I mean, I just went through this, dude. I
Wait,
don't know how you don't get it.
if it if
You're breaking up bad. You're breaking up, dude.
a car is at rest with the absolute reference frame and the tree hits it at 50 miles per hour, how would you know the difference?
How would you know if there was the car moving into the tree or the tree moving into the car?
Yeah, because the way I see it is you're using the earth as the absolute reference frame.
Nope. I just told you could be on an aircraft carrier. I don't know how many more times I could say it.
Even
You
if
could
you're
be on an
on the
aircraft
aircraft
carrier,
carrier,
a merry-go-round, or
yeah,
anything.
yeah, that's on earth, right? So you're using the earth as the reference frame then?
We could be on a spaceship. We could be on the moon. It really wouldn't matter where you are with this scenario, as long as the tree and the car work like a tree and a car, and they're on the same ground, meaning the top of a
Are you
train,
invoking an absolute
the,
reference
the,
frame or you're
the,
not?
the top of. No, I'm just saying, dude, a car and a tree, bro. You have a fucking car and a tree. It doesn't matter if we're a
Uh-huh.
spinning globe. It doesn't matter if we're on a spinning globe moving through the universe.
No, because that tree is stuck to the ground and that car isn't.
So you are using the ground as the absolute reference frame. Gotcha.
A silly example would be a
This
car at
is
the equator
ridiculous.
driving east at 1,000 miles an hour to cancel out the rotation of quote unquote globe. Then from the ground, the car is now the stationary one because it's just canceled out the globe's motion. So the car is standing still, and then the tree's heading towards it because the car just canceled out its motion that it started with from the ground.
Full Knight gets it.
Yeah, but on that ground, things have their spots. That tree is stuck to that ground. With that car, you can drive all over that place. So that gives you different reference frames on that same reference frame you're talking about.
No, the reference frame that you just invoked is the Earth.
That's when you're talking about the tree. But when you're talking about the car, it becomes another thing because that thing is on the move.
And you guys think that when the rest of the world hears this, just your average everyday Joe, which position do you think they're going to find silly? The guy who knows how trees and cars work, or the guys who are saying that they don't know how trees and cars work?
I think the guy that can't answer if they're invoking an absolute reference frame is the one they would find silly.
I told you no. It doesn't matter if it's on top of an aircraft carrier, on top of a train, on a merry-go-round. It doesn't matter about an absolute reference frame. You could be on a spinning globe, on a stationary Earth. It's literally irrelevant.
How do you know if something's moving?
When it comes to the tree and the car, we know how trees work
Just,
and we know
just
how cars work.
no. Just a single item by itself. How do you know if it's moving without
Well, that's
comparing
not
it
the
to anything
scenario.
else? Well,
That's
that
not the
is the scenario.
scenario.
That is the scenario. How do you know if an object is moving without comparing
No
it to
idea.
any other object?
No
You
idea.
can't,
But in the
right?
tree and
You
I have no
can't,
idea.
right?
But in the tree and the car, I'm responding. I have no idea. But in the tree and the car scenario, we can be 100% certain because we know how trees and cars work.
Okay, but like Bull Knight's example is that like we understand that Earth is rotating. So if you take a car traveling exactly at the opposite speed that the Earth is rotating at, like why would you say that the car is moving on Earth instead of the Earth is moving towards the car?
The Earth. We're talking. Is this the tree and the car or a different example?
Yes, it's the tree and the car. The car is traveling exactly the opposite vector of the rotational speed of Earth.
Okay, you
Why are
just
you
answered your
saying
own question. You just
no,
answered
no?
your own question. We know
Yes,
the
I
car's
answered my
moving
own
and the trees.
question. No,
We know the car's moving and the tree's planted in the ground. So if when the tree does hit the car, in your example, now that we know the car is driving, somebody's driving the car, it's gassed up, the wheels are spinning, right?
let's just say like car
Sure.
starts off at XYZ axis, right? XYZ coordinate zone, right? And Earth is rotating. So Earth's coordinates are changing and the car's not. It's just standing there. Is there any difference like there? Like if you have an app, if you're using like the reference space of like space itself as the X, Y, and Z coordinates, the car stays in the same exact coordinate, but because Earth is rotating, it slams into the car. This would be in a geospatial, geocentric model. Exactly. Exactly.
In the world, it can be relevant and reasonable to make enough assumptions to declare confident that one was moving versus the other. But the people who are doing the equations don't care about that flavor text or those assumptions. And the math doesn't change. There's no part in any of these force equations for a tree variable
What's
or
the force that would
stationary.
make it? Okay, what's the force that would make a tree move then?
That's before. Like,
Well,
there's
I know
no
if
way.
you're
Like,
limiting,
you're
if you're
doing the
limiting
math.
your information, if you're limiting the amount of information you have purposefully, then yeah, you can never know anything.
Yeah, where do you put tree in the equation? It's not about limiting, it's about what do you need to
No,
answer what question.
you're limiting the amount of information you have because we know, is there a force that would make a tree move?
Yes, we've already answered that. And then you
Yeah, I
have to
know, and
add
I
more
and I and I
information to
answer that there's
insist
no
that it's
hurricane
still in the
going.
ground.
And we answer that there's no hurricane, landslides, nothing fishy is going on. It's just a tree that's in front of your house. It's a normal, nice day. Nothing crazy is going on. There's no force that makes a tree move. However, there is a force that makes the car move, right?
What question is being asked?
We're asking, did the car move into the tree or did the tree move into the car?
Like, for what purpose?
Who cares
What's
what the
your
purpose is,
goal
bro?
here?
That's the question. To figure out if the car moved into the purpose is to figure out if the car moved into the tree or the tree moved into the car. That's the purpose. We want to know which one moved into the other thing.
You pick one and get the same result is the gist of it.
Okay, what's the
Why
force
can't-
that made the tree? What's the force that made the tree move?
I would say
It
both.
doesn't matter. Like you said,
There is
the
none.
reason doesn't matter. The
I would say
justification doesn't matter.
I would
You
say
have
they
no
moved
force
into
to
each
make a
other.
tree move.
I would say they moved into each other.
There's no force that makes a tree move in this scenario.
So
It's
then
called
if you
Earth's
believe that, if
rotation.
that's how you're operating, you pick
Earth's
car.
rotation, space-time, gravity, all that good stuff.
You can be
Yeah,
Only
entirely
well,
thing that is
justified to
moving,
say,
that's
the
tree.
I'm not
you
going to
step on the
calculate this from the tree's perspective. I'm going to calculate this from the car's perspective.
You
And that's
can't
fine.
calculate it from the tree's perspective because the tree has no mechanism that makes it move in this scenario.
Sure, it does. It has roots
Yeah.
in the ground, and the ground is rotating. There you go. There's
Yeah.
its.
I know, but that doesn't matter
can't
for the
prove that
10th
that's
time.
false.
For the 10th time, it doesn't matter if Earth is rotating or it's on top of an aircraft carrier, if Earth is stationary, or if you're on a spinning merry-go-round. Wherever you are is irrelevant. You have the car and the tree that's planted in the ground. In a
Let me
normal car.
ask you something. If two things are moving and they hit each other, are they both moving into each other?
Is it a tree and a car? Because I can give you the answer for that one. This actual thing we're on.
Any two objects you want to picture in your mind, if they are both moving and they hit each other, are they moving into each other?
I have no idea. And your vague,
wild.
ambiguous example, and my very specific example, we absolutely with 100% certainty know which one moved into the other thing.
If you have two objects
Well-
moving into each other, I mean, if you have two objects in motion and they collide, are they moving into each other?
Yeah, but when you got a car crashing into a tree, that tree snaps. The top of that tree moves away, but that stem is still rock steady in the ground. So no, that tree ain't moving.
Okay, so the question is, if two objects are in motion and they collide, are they moving into each other?
You just said they were in motion.
Yeah. Are they moving into each other?
I don't know. It's very vague and ambiguous, your example. I have a very specific example of when we can know. I'm not doubting that there's scenarios that we can't know which one was moving. However, in the car and the tree example, you can 100% know what moved. I know you want to bring it
If
to
you're
a
happy with that
different.
answer, that's fine.
I know you want to bring it to a different scenario all the time because there are scenarios in which you can't know, or you might not know, or you might not have all the information. But in this example, we have all the information and we can know with 100% certainty.
You know for an absolute fact that Earth is stationary and not moving.
It's not
It
relevant.
doesn't matter with the tree.
It does matter because if the tree is attached to the Earth and the Earth is moving, and the car is also moving, then you have two objects moving into each other. That's just what happens.
Where is that tree driving, Flat Earth?
If you have the car parked and the tree's planted in the ground, it wouldn't matter if it's on a rotating Earth or on the top of an aircraft carrier or on a merry-go-round. That's probably the last time I'm going to tell you this because I've told you about 8 times today already.
I agree. When they're both moving in the same exact vector and the same exact speed, they're not going to hit each other. But when they're moving at different speeds and different vectors and they collide into each other, are they both moving into each other?
When they're both doing what?
When they're both in motion, are they moving into each other?
Wait, what? A tree's in motion?
Yes.
On
The
a
hell?
rotating, on a globe or an aircraft carrier or the top of a train. If you have this tree planted on something that's moving,
Yes, the Earth is moving.
it's irrelevant.
We
Like
haven't
I said,
determined that yet.
it's irrelevant. Like I said for like the 10th time.
Why
It's
is
the
it
fact that
irrelevant
Jeremy
if an why
agrees that
wait, why is
there's
it
scenarios where
irrelevant
we
if
can't know the
one of
difference.
why is it irrelevant if one of the objects is in motion?
Because they'd
Because
both
there's
be
only one object
it's,
really in motion.
if the car's parked and the tree's planted in the ground and it's on top of an aircraft carrier and they're both in motion, and then somebody gets in the car and drives it into the tree, it doesn't matter that the aircraft carrier was moving or not moving, the car still moves.
Let's just say like you have a car on a ferry, right? And you leave the car in neutral. And then that ferry accelerates like very
I guess
quickly.
change the whole thing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, sure. I'm changing the whole thing. So the
Yeah, you
car's
have to
in
do it.
neutral.
In other words, to
Yeah,
stick to your
yeah,
narrative.
I'm doing it. So the car's in neutral, right? And like the boat starts to go, it's like going at 35 miles per hour. And both the car on the deck is moving also at 5 miles per hour. I'm assuming you would agree, right?
I
When
don't
the
know,
boat
bro. I'm
accelerates,
good on all the
when the
other
boat
scenarios
accelerates and the
because
car
I've already explained to you that there are scenarios where we might not know what's moving. However, this scenario that I've set up specifically, we can know what's moving. And you want to switch the
so,
scenario to
right.
something where we might not know. I've already agreed that there are scenarios where we may not be able to tell what's moving or you might not know what's moving. However, in this car in the tree example, we can absolutely know what's moving.
Let's bring this back. So if the ground is part of Earth, because that's a rhetorical question, and you know the fact that the ground isn't moving and the trees in the ground, that would assume then that you know the Earth is not moving.
It doesn't matter in this scenario. It doesn't matter if we're on a globe or
I'll just say not.
a rotating globe
Wait,
or a stationary Earth.
let me ask you something. If the Earth was moving, would that mean that the ground is moving, which means that the tree that's in the ground is moving also?
Yeah, it would if we're on a rotating globe and you got the tree and the car, then they would both be moving together. Yes.
Okay, so it does seem like it is
If you
important and relevant.
no, it's not important. Let me tell you why.
Between
You're breaking up. Let me tell you why it's not important. Because if you're on a rotating globe and the cars and the trees planted in the ground and the car is parked, if you're on a rotating globe, it's not going to change the distance between you and the tree. It just stays the same.